65 years after Nigeria's independence, we are still asking the same question. Can we really trust our elections? From rigging and violence to vote buying and court battles, the ballot often feels more like a battlefield than a pathway to democracy. But is there hope for a system that truly reflects the will of the people? Today we put Nigeria's electoral system under the microscope with Barrister Wale Ogunade. He's the president of the Voters Awareness Initiative and is also a constitutional lawyer, which makes him very apt for this discussion this morning. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome to Summit.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, because you're going to be sharing the wealth of your knowledge about Nigeria's voting or electoral system on the program today. So Nigeria is marking 65 years of independence, and we have had several elections. Now, how would you describe the journey of our electoral system since 1960?
Since 1960 to this time, it has been checkered, a checkered history. But before then, let me just appreciate your prologue.
Thank you.
Well captured and really apt in terms of the very haphazard nature of the journey into democracy. It's unfortunate that the colonial masters that bettered democracy to us allowed the form of electoral malpractices that has been taking place or that took place in the 60s, which was not allowed in England or in any of its other states. We didn't have such things in India. At least I may use India as a reference point. India was in the same shoe as Nigeria, a colonial state, state under Britain, got their independence, and there has never been the type of electoral stress in India as we have in Nigeria. Ditto Ghana. But be that as it may, I may restrain myself to India. But then let's now move forward. 1960s, the wear tear, the various political violence that characterized any electoral cycle. We took it to the 70s, 79 during the Shagari era. We took it again to the 90s during the Obasanjo era. And it has all been the same till now. But then, hope is not yet lost. We're moving and we are working on having a sound electoral process. And you agree with me that the level of rigging, violence, vote buying, and of course, electoral malpractices are going down. Why am I saying that? Because of the use of technology. And of course, the most interesting thing is for programs like this that increases awareness of the people to the extent that everyone now is on the toe to ensuring that the right things is done or are done for the electoral process to move on. And to that extent, I would say that yes, it's not yet time to sleep, it's not yet to huru. We'll still keep on working, and we want the 2027 elections to be far, far, far better.
Okay, but looking retrospectively, what do you think were the earliest strengths and weaknesses of Nigeria's first electoral processes?
Yes, the strength lies in the fact that people now have a choice to vote, to elect their representatives. The weaknesses were in the area of various malpractices, trying to outreach, trying to overreach, trying to take advantage of the process itself to the benefit of those who are the real stakeholders and the players. And to that extent, it was a big issue. And of course, it really diminishes whatever gains that the electoral process will have gotten. Till now, it's still there. The issue of vote buying is the major one now. The issue of rigging has now been reduced to insignificant proportion. The issue, I mean, I'm talking as somebody who is involved.
Okay.
Rigging has now been reduced to insignificant proportion because ordinarily before, a polling unit that has just 50 people and 30 voted, you see that when, at the end of the day, when the result sheet is out, you see 500 people voted in a polling unit that have 250 as the maximum number of people. And people don't question then. But now, people will question that, how come? I'm equally involved in election tribunals. And of course, when such things comes up in the election tribunal, we just put all those people involved to tax, particularly the political party or the politician who says he won 500 votes in a polling unit that has 250 as the registered voters. And we know that not all the registered voters will come to vote. Yes. So when we see all those are the reasons that we say that the rigging has been reduced. So the politicians now leave rigging. They now go for vote buying.
All right, let's just take a quick break. I will be back to continue the discussion. Please stay with us.
Our diversity is our strength. As Nigerians, we are blessed with a rich cultural heritage, diverse languages, and vibrant traditions. Our differences are what makes us strong, from the Hausa to the Yoruba, Igbo, and beyond. Each tribe brings its unique flavor to the table. Our diversity is a celebration of our collective identity. We may speak different languages, practice different faiths, and have different customs, but we are united by our shared humanity. Our diversity is our strength, fostering creativity, innovation, and resilience. It's what makes us to navigate challenges and thrive in an ever-changing world. So let's celebrate our differences, embracing the beauty of our diversity. Together, we can build a brighter future for Nigeria, where every individual can shine. In loving memory of Alhaji Banji Busari.
Welcome back. Now we are being joined on this very important discussion talking about 65 years after Nigeria's independence, an X-ray of our electoral system. We're being joined by Barrister Jide Ologun. He's a public affairs analyst and he's a friend of the house. You're welcome, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, so I've already started this discussion with Barrister Wale Ogunade, and he has said a little bit on this issue of our electoral system. But I would like to ask you that Nigeria has experienced different electoral phases, from the First Republic to military rule and then return to democracy in 1999. How have these shifts shaped our current electoral system?
Thank you very much. It is expected that there should be improvement which will give wings to the provision of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, that says sovereignty belongs to the people. But by and by, that provision has not found a fertile ground for manifestation, because if you go by public opinion and feedback from the citizens, the true democracy that should be experienced in Nigeria have not been experienced. And I will bring the closest precedents that we have. We look at the local government election that held in Lagos State recently. The apathy was so strong, evident, which means people, in fact, some people were commenting, we already know the results, why should we bother, and things like that. And one of the tenets of democracy is participation, the willingness of the people to be involved. So people have been questioning the transparency, the credibility of the electoral processes. And again, the most recent was the Rivers State local government election, where before the election it was reported that there had been a negotiation of 20 to 3 goals to be scored. And when the result came out, really, 20 local government areas to APC, and APC is not even the controlling party in Rivers State and 3 to PDP. Yes, to PDP. So when you look at this, I think the citizens are fast losing faith in the electioneering processes. And now, let me speak to the democracy aspect of it. If you look at the whole essence of democracy, it is attending to the affairs of the people in the community to ensure that they access the commonwealth for common good. And now, under our constitution, is summarized by section 14, subsection 2 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 was amended that says that the security and the welfare of the citizens shall be the primary purpose of government. So we should ask one question. So far, what have we done to the security of the people? How well have we paid attention to the welfare of the citizens? And I think these are critical areas, and that will take us to the economic life, the social life, and the general management of the resources of the nation. So it's been a long journey, but yet the achievements we should be parading are so far away from manifesting. So
all right, so let's go to the election umpire in Nigeria, and that's INEC. We have them conducting elections from year to year or time to time, depending on which election is holding. And presently, the INEC chairman is meant to retire. He has gotten to his retirement age. And there are people who are saying when this man leaves, the presidency should not be involved in bringing in another INEC chairman. What's your opinion on this issue, sir?
Well, unfortunately, the constitution has not yet changed. The president still has the power to appoint. And until that is done, there is nothing that can be done. It is his right to appoint. And unfortunately, in as much as he is a politician and power is sweet, the politician will want someone who will dance to his tune. The name independent is just a nomenclature. The Independent Electoral Commission is not that independent as it were. But be that as it may, everything still lies on the people. The president and all the government structures don't have up to 500,000 votes. And we're talking of a country of close to, even with the issue of apathy, let's even just be so conservative, 20 million, even 10 million votes. And there's no way the vote of the president and his team, if the people want to, can override 10 million people. So what am I saying is that everything lies with the people, not with INEC. If no matter how INEC conducts the election, it's still going to be subject to being counted. And the counting, now we have made it possible that the counting should be in the clear of everyone. Elections are not held in Abuja. The counting is not held in Abuja. It is held in the local point, the polling unit, and is transmitted up.
So as much as people like the complain that the president should not be the one to assign it will just be noise in futility if the constitutional is not amended in that aspect.
I'll use this opportunity to tell our people that the people that dominate the National Assembly, particularly, can never fly with this idea, because it helps them to perpetuate themselves in government. Why? Unfortunately, someone can be in the National Assembly for us forever. And the power of recall has not been triggered for it to have effect. So since those two are still there, then definitely all these are just noise, or beer parlor talk, as we say. The only thing that can make it happen is for the people to now wake up and say, no, you have not delivered on mandate. You are representative. We don't want you anymore. On election day, they shove him aside. There are other options on election for other political parties presenting candidates for election. So you shock those who have not been giving you dividends of democracy, representing you as a wish. I remember Wabara, the last Senate president, when we put during the third time of Obasanjo, when the camera was on him and his colleagues, everyone was coming and they were answering their father's name. They knew that definitely, if they mess up in allowing the third term, they will have their people to contend with. And that phrase came up, my people, my people. I don't know, maybe my people too remembered. But be that as it may, it means these politicians too recognizes the power of the people. Yes, INEC is there as an umpire, but don't forget, those of us who watch football matches, it does not matter how the referee will want to support a team. Once he does something wrong, the whole crowd will shout that, no, that it shouldn't be. And of course, thank God for the wisdom of the people now that brought about the virtual recall thing. That, okay, they will go and see it to confirm that the decision it took was wrong or right. So to that extent, too, it is the people, through the use of technology, that can make INEC to be independent truly. But appointing or disappointing the INEC chairman is just a noise on the street.
All right, so I remember during the 2023 elections, everyone was excited. It was like we had more people coming on board. Everyone wanted to vote. The young people, I remember that time, everyone was going all out to get their voter's card, you know, because of the introduction of technology. The beavers, the IREV, electronic transmission, and all that. Now, they've still been used in some of these by-elections that held recently after the 2023 elections. Now, going forward, as preparations begin towards the 2027 election, because we're already talking about 2027 election, do you agree that technology should be used, and will it help and still hinder electoral credibility, or promote electoral credibility rather?
Thank you. Yes, I support the engagement of IT, but we should know that man is not subject to IT. IT is subject to man. And that is the issue. Some of us have complained that even though we have the beavers, the IREV, to what extent have you made it mandatory for INEC that this must be done? If not done, you'll be punished. We still have the discretion. On the election days, many people were not allowed to vote because they could not be accredited. You know, there are still these
some of these hitches.
A man, which is the superstructure, can manipulate. There's still and you will hear the argument that, okay, IREV is just for the collation, and this one, even when the votes are counted at the polling unit. You saw what happened in the election in Edo State. When it got to another level, they brought in security. You know, so it's about man. Sincerely speaking, if we all decide that we need good governance in Nigeria, we can make it happen. But if we are not decisive about it, those who take advantage will continue to take advantage. Because this issue we are discussing now, Section 4 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, states clearly that the National Assembly shall have power to make laws for the peace, orderliness, and good government in Nigeria. Likewise, the state houses of assembly. Now, they can amend the law. After all, the Electoral Act was amended, by virtue of which it was tested that, okay, if you're a political appointee and you want to go and get active at the primary, you resign. And some resign, and that saw the likes of Amechi out of government, and some of them. So, but rather than focus on these main issues, that we give credibility and transparency to our electoral processes, recently a bill was prompted in the National Assembly to compel all eligible citizens to vote, as it is done in Australia and Egypt and some other, about 20 other countries. And the big question is that, is it the kind of economy and the good governance that are given to Australians that you give to your citizens here? Because what that the organization has said this morning, that power belongs to the people. What we have noticed on the field is that yes, but the elite is either maybe for the fear of encountering thugs at the polling unit, and they just go to club the day before election, they sleep, watch it on television, and the real voters, professional voters, are out there. I was shocked during the last election in Lagos State local government. In my polling unit, only one party showed up, talking about voters and agents, and just one party, no agent for any other party, nothing. And that's what we are talking about. So when people begin to lose interest, it should be a concern to the government. You need to be able to carry your citizens along and be responsive. So it's not about the fact that you must, if accreditation machines are not working, what do you do?
Exactly.
Will you remain there till after the time prescribed by INEC? Or if the election is supposed to start by 9, they come by 12. You know, all these issues, we must be decisive. We must be decisive about what exactly we want. But again, the big question is, who are the beneficiaries of the institutional lapses we have? Those who want to remain in power forever. We're discussing that now maybe at the ports there are scanning machines. If the scanners will only work if human beings want them to work. Are we now saying there are no machines in the National Identity Management Commission that you need almost 1.5 years to obtain your NIN? I mean, you know those issues. So we just, you see, I think generally speaking, let's all repent and enjoy this land. You know, Dangote was saying something recently with this battle from the stakeholders in the oil and gas and the taxation and everything, that hey, there are people richer than him that he knows in this country, but they are moving their wealth to Monaco because of the friendly economic and business environment there. So who is losing? And now we understand America is threatening that they won't give visa to corrupt politicians. America is just one of the destinations. They can go to France, they can go to Antigua, they can go to, you know, there are some countries people have not even identified that are very, Luxembourg and many other countries across the world. That they have the money, whether legally or illegally,
anyhow,
or acquire. They can go anywhere.
Yeah.
But we must, as a people, decide and ask a simple question. Please, for how long will we be on this earth? That some should be subjected to abject poverty and some will be subjected to abject wealth. Let me put it that way, that after they are gone. In the UK recently, the UK government was begging that there are some properties they don't know the owners. They even published it. Why must that continue?
All right, thank you, sir. Now, he said something about, he kept something, the people, the people, the people. And I know you are leading the Voters Awareness Initiative. Now, how can civic education and youth participation reshape the system for the better?
Thank you for this question. And I'll even use this opportunity to inform our people that this is the time for you to exercise that power to get it registered.
The politicians have already started preparing, after all.
That's where I'm going. We to the people should start preparing. And preparation starts by registering to vote. Your inability to vote makes you useless. In our own life, we say you have no electoral value, so you are a useless person. And it means that whatever you are saying is just noise. But for it to have effect, go out now. The voters registration, as we call it, the continuous voter registration is on. All you need to do is just to go to the local government area nearest to you and get yourself registered. You have lost your card, that's voter's card. You have come of age, that's 18 years old. Your card or your name has been mutilated, or you have changed your place of living and address, or you have shifted from one point to the other, or you just know that you are not there. please go and confirm, or you had issues during the last election, you were not able to vote because your name was not on the register, or there are some mistakes here and there. This is the opportunity for you to go register. Then that makes you part of the people whose votes will eventually count if you go out to register. Now to your question. It is very important that the people, through programs like this, get involved. There is an upsurge in the number of activities in terms of awareness programs here and there. When I started this project around 28 years ago, people were looking at me that I was a madman. But it was a divine call. I was the only voice in the wilderness. But people were saying, you are a madman. Votes count in this country, and all. But through the vote, government have been changed. Even sitting government have been changed. And of course, there are various interventions ensuring that before it was just a piece of paper. There was a voter's card, just a piece of paper that somebody, and of course it encouraged rigging. And of course, we worked on it. Now, if you see a typical voters, a ballot paper, you see that it has a number, it has a color, strategic for each unit and number. So the issue of you voting here, or people after voting, they take the ballot paper or the box to another point cannot arise, because they all have numbers and so on and so forth. So we have streamlined. What we are still working on is the issue of vote buying. And of course, it's still the people. It's the people that sells the votes, is the people that buys the vote. So that's what we are working on, for them to see the danger. Because how much will they give you? If they give you, there is no politician that is going to give a voter 1 million. There is no politician that is going to give a voter 1 million naira each. And if, assuming, without considering that indeed a politician will give you 1 million naira, it can't take care of the school fees of your child, it can't take care of your feeding, it can't take care of maintaining yourself for 4 whole years. So why sell the votes? Whereas in Europe or in all these Schengen countries or in any other part of the world, once you vote, you are guaranteed of that provisions in section 14 of the 1999 Constitution that says the welfare and the security. What do we see? The security is to government officers. You don't have do you have a policeman guarding you? Do you have a policeman guarding you? But the policeman is there guarding these politicians 24/7. They go with them on the streets. They go with them on the road. If I want to travel now, I don't have the guts to travel by road. I go by air, which is very expensive. And many a times, by virtue of my work, I have to be dropping around. Maybe from Ibadan or from Lagos, I go to Ibadan, see what is happening there. Abeokuta, Shagam, where is it now? Ondo, Akure, Ileoluji, go to Ibilu, go to Okene, then to maybe Kotonkarfi, then I hit Abuja, then Gwagwalada, then I go on like that, Kaduna, Zuba, and Co. I can't do that anymore because of insecurity and the bad roads. But these people, they'll go with the chopper and all, with police and all. So, to our own advantage, to their own benefit. But it is the people that can make this happen, as my brother has just said. God forbid that a charlatan is made the local government chairman, and somebody who has no brains is made the governor by default, then you know what it means. And that's why this on the development comes in. Just as I said some few seconds ago, I crisscrossed Nigeria. I have never seen 1,004, that building. You too, you know what I'm saying. Whereas it's all over Europe, all over America. You see high-rise and you see big blocks of building that houses thousands of people in a spot. Is it forbidden to have the type of 1,004 estate all over Nigeria? So if we don't have such structures, don't forget the construction activities there will bring in money. Cement, workforce, sand, all the even food vendors, not to talk of those who sell iron and all. The economic activity. Look at it now. Schools, universities are springing up every corner now. People are struggling to have the doctor's degree so as to go and be lecturers. Students are springing up because we have it. In America alone, Johns Hopkins University has an admission of 250,000 students per year. In Nigeria, the total number of people that gets admission with all the universities, not up to 200,000. Whereas one university has admits 250,000. So why wouldn't there be development? Why wouldn't there be growth? And I tell you, my sister, they say industry is the engine of growth. It's a lie. Education is the engine of growth. Without education, who could man the industry that we have? I rest my case.
All right, so we're already talking about the 2027 election. Even though there are debates that it's too early, politicians should concentrate on governance, providing better life for the people. But, well, 2027 is already staring us in the face. Now, with this electoral system that we have in place, and Barrister Wade just said that there are some of these things that can't be changed except through constitutional amendment. Now, people are saying nothing can really be amended. They don't have the time, to do whatever, some things that need to be done. What do you foresee in the future if these things are not handled?
You see, there are two scenarios. You have law applicable to situations that the second you don't. The recent complaint was that of early campaigns before
and
the
INEC is even saying,
days.
already warning that
Yes,
people
before
are already campaigning.
150 days before the actual election, then should end within 24 hours before the election. But there's a provision in Section 94 of the Electoral Act. But subsection 1 handles the aspect of 150 days before the election, but with no penalty. Subsection 2 handles that it should end 24 hours before election, and the penalty is just 500,000 naira. And that's what we are saying. The National Assembly should make these laws effective. Even a party faithful can pay that penalty, 500,000. And you now see that we have little respect for the rule of law, because people have been reporting billboards everywhere. But if we cannot look in the direction of the National Assembly to tighten these laws, to help us tame the politicians, then the citizens, yes, the citizens can tame them. And how? Perhaps I've only just mentioned, if you are eligible and you have not registered to vote, the continuous voters registration is on now. It will end around August next year. Don't sit back. If you are 18 and above, don't sit back and say, nah, then no. You see, when the light is not switched on, the darkness remains in control. And what God says in John chapter 1.
Two pastors here.
You're lucky.
If you read John chapter 1 verse 5, it says that light shines in darkness, and darkness cannot comprehend it. And what is the advocacy here? You see, politics is not played at the national level. It is played at the grassroots level.
All politics is level. Local.
So how you live in a community and you say, I'm not interested, then you are in danger. So get involved if you want to be active, whether through voting or you want to be present as a candidate. Because let's face the reality, with the machinery we have in this country right now, some people will gather at the primaries, present the candidates you are voting for. So it's not even about party. It's about the candidate. And quite a number of times, it is the candidate that will represent the interests of the politicians that is presented for people to come and vote for. So we need to get active politically. But as per the laws we have in this country, I think we need to sit down and look at them. Like I have said, I've disclosed to us right now that there are those saddled with that responsibility, are mandated. If only they will wake up and look at those laws as against proposing that more states should be created, that people must be forced to vote and things like that. No. In public relations, you talk about Frank Jeffkins' transfer process. If there is apathy, you transfer it to interest. So what will make your citizens to be interested in getting... So what happened when we had the option A4, the Hope 93? There wasn't vote buying or cajoling or distributing stipends to people or whatever. People came out. It was transparent. But thank God IBP is still alive and he has confessed what they did to truncate that very transparent expression of democracy in Nigeria. And since then, we have not recovered from that tampering with the transparent process of election. So we can still return there, and then, like Pastor Guaide, let me support him by saying God has promised in Isaiah 43 verse 19 that he will do a new thing. Isaiah 43:19. So don't let us lose hope. But we must begin to strategize to make our leaders accountable.
Right,
it's a serious mandate on the part of
your
citizens.
final words, sir, on this same issue, sir.
Well, my final word is that the opportunity has become on us. This is a great opportunity. All of you that are shouting, Nigeria is not good, Nigeria is not good. It is in our hand to make Nigeria good and better. Just as I said, anyone who has gone to Jos, who has gone to the Mambila, who has gone to Adamawa, Zoom area, you know that Nigeria is blessed, not to talk of the Benue axis. And we have youths. We have the agricultural policy, the industrial, just so many things. But again, it is the people that will say enough is enough. Just as he said, which is true. The politicians will present someone who will protect their interest. Are we the people presenting who will protect our interest and vote for church persons? No. But to me, this is the time to stop agonizing. Let us begin to organize towards 2027. That's the people I mean.
Did you hear what he said? He said, stop agonizing and start organizing. Again, stop agonizing and start organizing. Thank you, sir. That's a very wonderful place to end the discussion this morning. Thank you so much, Barrister Jide Ologun, for joining us.
Nigeria.
Thank you, Barrister Wale Ogunade, for joining us.
God be the glory.
It's the ball is in our court as the people. And of course, this discussion is still ongoing, and we'll still have them still come to talk about preparing the people towards the 2027 elections. It's still a long time, so we'll have time to talk about it and encourage people that there is hope at the end of the tunnel. We'll move on to our next segment of the program this morning, talking about developmental strides of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in Lagos State. Please enjoy the package and see you again next time. I am Jumoke Michaels. Bye-bye.